not so not being able to um, focus for more than an hour shouldn't be a problem. Okay, I'm saying this because if you've browsed some of the videos that I have in on my channel, you'll see that it's like they're not much longer than an hour, and then people tend to, and it's like don't get scammed by things like study with me. So let me see if I can change to these video here. Um, or even George Hotz, like the guy is like streams for like 7 hours straight coding and kind of like reading papers and stuff like that. Um, but like this is like if you have the time to do that, then awesome because I'd love to have as well. I just don't have it, right? I will have in the future. I hope so, but I'm not just gonna stay, kind of idle until I get there. Sort of, you're never gonna get there unless you actually work your ass to get there, right? So kind of start small and try to build up these um, the capacity to do these kind of things. So I mean, he's using that as well as sort of mechanism to just kind of like talk through ideas and have fun with the people in the stream and stuff like this. So it's not always like full study and whatnot. But like what pisses me off is if you search for like study with me, because I've done this because I've seen this trend, study with me, and it's not about any specific one of these videos, but like that is, I don't know, that is definitely not how you study. Those videos are just mostly you know people in front of a computer or like a book and just reading or taking notes. Like that's not really going to take you anywhere. Well, that is basically um, preparing for an exam or whatever, right? It's kind of it's fine to do it like these, I guess, but it's not really the point. I mean, of course, I can't speak for any of these people, but I don't think these is it's like 2 hour study with me with music and stuff like that. Watch my videos and just as a proof that you can do it differently, as in like just do stuff, just practice, no matter what is it that you want to deep dive into. um, it's important for you to just practice and kind of get started. There's always a practical aspect to whatever you're doing, whether it's math or programming, whether even like literature stuff. It's like try to make an analysis on whatever you're reading or whatever like literature study you're reading, whatever it is. I have absolutely no idea, but it's like don't waste time. So this is one thing that I wanted to basically share as an insight because yesterday I was reading some of the replies to the 300-hour video, 300-hour study thing that I uploaded a couple of days ago, and I realized a lot of people might just be struggling with these, and it's not so obvious. Like, don't let yourself, you know, be fooled by these things. And another thing is stuff like platforms like Brilliant.com, Brilliant.org, which are actually sponsoring the shit out of everything right now in YouTube. So everything that's like a science video, Veritasium, whatever, and it pisses me off. Well, I haven't. Brilliant.org. I haven't. Uh, okay, so basically what they're selling you here is like it's interactive, so it's kind of like this doing thing, right? But that's another danger that you might fall into, which is getting too much like sucked into one specific way of learning something. Whereas what works always the best with everything in life as well is just look at stuff from different angles, right? So um, if you're learning something, just kind of instead of going and playing with this widget, which is just low effort and high reward, like it just, because it's like a nice animation and whatnot, try to code it yourself, right? Try to code it yourself. Now you have so many things, even if you don't know how to program, like you can, go to replit.com, use Ghostwriter that will help you code stuff. Um, or just use ChatGPT, which actually is free, right? Because Ghostwriter you actually have to have the subscription for. So you can even use the free tier of ChatGPT to kind of get some basics done, or then look at some tutorials, search for something else. Like the same topic from different angles is always what will enrich you the most. And don't get caught up into like spending money, because these guys like give you free access, but then um, you know, the, and that's kind of a, yeah. I mean, I kind of disagree with these. Maybe 15 minutes is a bit too much, like uh, kind of harsh. You do have to invest depending on what you're doing, right? But I mean, it's this thing where if you really just go through stuff and then think as well, right? If you're not really just, while you're not doing something hands-on, if you're motivated enough, then you're going to think about stuff just unconsciously. This thinking is what's going to, making this thinking a bit more something that you're kind of like, you're not just putting aside and then, putting your headphones and listening to the next podcast or whatever. Instead of that, just like get used to your brain just thinking about things. So yeah, this is what I wanted to share really. So you can see, I mean, you can see some of the stuff in the channel in here. So like, go through some of these videos, and you'll see that I don't spend more than like 20 minutes, 40 minutes, 40 minutes in some of these things. And then if you do that on a regular basis, like you're gonna get basically you're gonna get used to these. You're gonna get into this kind of rhythm, and it's something that you have to incorporate in your life as a habit. That's kind of how you get into this deeper insights about things. That's fine. You're gonna sit for 5 hours and mark something on a sheet of paper with a marker because you're preparing for an exam. That's all good, but it's not studying. That's not really gonna get you to that depth, um, that you're looking for. So if you, um, yeah, feel free to share stuff in the comments, by the way, if you disagree with these or if you've experienced anyhow else, because of course a lot of this stuff is just relative to your own experience, but so many stuff has been disproven already in that area. Veritasium was a couple of years ago was sharing this, right, where this study where this kind of learning styles were this basically proven to be like not true. The thing that some people are visual learners or yeah, this kind of stuff is just proven to be not true. So that's it. If you want to study with me, then don't do it. Just actually go and study. But just put some music in the background. Watch some of the videos if you want to. But like, watching videos is sometimes just I mean, the reason that I'm posting these videos is to show that, right? To kind of show that you don't really need to. Studying is nothing like fancy where you just need to get all the stuff, prepped and then have a nice studio and a nice like desk and everything well set up, and oh my God, it's raining outside. It's so cozy here. It's time to study, get a coffee, whatever. Just, just go for it. And like, use my videos that might be in topics like quantum computing, artificial intelligence in the future as well, as another learning source. If you want to see what the stuff, what was the stuff that I was struggling with in a certain moment, then you can just see me doing this stuff live. These videos are totally unrehearsed, not prepared, not rehearsed, not like, they are just raw material. I did do some shitty videos where it's more like a kind of playing with someone in a video game, or kind of, doing a bit of a half interview with. That's just because I was exploring a bit the kind of videos that I was having fun doing. And I think that the more raw stuff is really what kind of fits my style or what I'm having fun doing. And then recently playing with this, trying to share some more insights with you guys. If you might be, some of you might be, kind of wanting to do a bit more self-study, get a bit more serious with this. It's really kind of a way of life in a way, right? It's not something that you just do for like a couple of months and that's it. Like, if you really truly care about some topic, you're motivated, you're just intrinsically want to know more about stuff, you're gonna be learning about these forever. It's not that you're like kind of the 1 year of this and then off you go, right? So, and all this AI stuff is going to change a lot. So that's what I was saying in the reply as well, that you will find on the 300 hour video, I think 300 hour um, kind of computing. I don't know if I'll find it like this. Uh, it's like the same with all these people here. Oh, there you go. So, let's see if I can mute it. I'll pause it. So there's one comment in here about like how to study stuff like this. So go through. I did a longer reply here, and that's basically what I'm saying. Is like don't um, don't try to just memorize stuff. Essentially, try to get down to where the first principles of whatever you're doing are. Once you've found those first principles, those are kind of like ground truths. You should be able to build up everything else from there. Like, yeah, not instantly, but those are the things that they'll be so obvious to you because it's taken so much time to actually mine them, right? It's kind of like mining. You're really just like digging and digging and digging and digging until you find stuff, and then you're like, oh, that feels like a first principle, right? That feels like something obvious, and then you kind of backtrack and you can build up all this knowledge whenever you want. And with the chatbot AIs and all this kind of stuff that is coming up now, ChatGPT and all these things, and the follow-up versions of these, it's going to be super easy to actually build up some of these things because you're just going to have another tool to basically, have a bit of a conversation with that will help you kind of create new things out of these first principles, sort of new pieces of knowledge. Anyway, don't want to waste more of your time, so get back to study if that's what you're doing. Have a good one.